My 48 female husband, 49 male, said he is no longer attracted to me and wants to sleep with another woman. My husband and I have been married for 12 years. We dated for 6 years prior. I am still very much in love with him, and I felt that he loved me as well. I know for a fact that we are each other's best friends. He says that to everybody, and it's the real deal behind closed doors as well. We both have a passion for real estate and have worked on a bunch of projects together. For years, I have always been the first person he consults on a lot of things, and he always asks me to accompany him to whatever things in business and otherwise he has to do, because we keep each other's company and he sees me as his calming influence. My husband is a corporate lawyer in New York City. After our daughter 10 turned 5, we decided it was better to raise her and send her to school in a more suburban setting. So we moved from the city to a community town bedroom community. We have a lot of friends and coworkers that live nearby. I work as a mortgage loan officer at a bank near our house. This past few years, I started noticing a shift in how my husband treated me. He treated me with respect. We'd still go to parties and vacations together, and he'd always ask and value my advice and things. He also would always tell me he was proud of me and post complimentary messages about me on social media. However, I noticed that what years earlier had still been passionate, love now was more distant. It became more of a he said those things because he was being respectful, rather than there being any source of romantic spark between us. We'd be out, and I noticed he'd be looking at other women. Sometimes, women would come up to him and he'd be flirtatious with them. I tried everything to help us reconnect: date nights, weekend getaways. I lost 10 pounds and even paid a personal stylist to help me get a whole new wardrobe, including lingerie. My husband would reject any attempt I made at intimacy and also start trying to make excuses in order to get out of date nights, including saying that his friends always seemed to be having a crisis at their homes that he had got to help them with. He made a rather upsetting comment when my sister was complimenting me on my new body about how his friend's wife, 35 female, could still fit in her wedding dress from 10 years ago effortlessly, and said, "Now that's commitment, if only. Otherwise, I guess, why keep our buy such an expensive thing?" He later backtracked and said he meant more him and his tuxedo. He always rejects any overture for physical affection, to the point where he becomes distant if I even put my hands on his. He told me that his job was demanding he work longer hours and that he had looked into apartments in the city where he could work his late nights. When he said that, I instantly got a bad feeling because while people work late, it was a partner, and not even as an associate did he have to work to such a late hour that driving home was impractical. Then we got to a firm event to celebrate Founders Day. We were having a time, but then my husband became distracted and couldn't keep his eyes off a woman. He then left our conversation and began acting flirtatiously towards the woman. His co-workers, who I've known for a long time, all gave me uncomfortable or pitying glances. When we got home from the event, I asked him if he was sleeping with a woman he spent the rest of the night around. He said he wasn't. Then we got in a fight about his suddenly longer hours, and I admitted that it hurts me that we haven't had sex or physical affection in close to 2 years, despite my efforts. He then tells me that he loves me. He pauses because he basically snapped that he loved me. He then tells me that he didn't know how to say this to me because he truly does love and care for me. But he's no longer attracted, and that he's made a great effort to deny that or relight that attraction he has for me. He told me that he still thinks of me as his forever partner and respects me immensely. He admitted he was attracted to the woman I saw him talking to. She's 24 and very beautiful. But he told me he loves me as the mother of our daughter, and emotionally speaking, I'm the only one he thinks he'll ever love, and that he'll always value my opinion above others. But he said that he's sure that he has also aged and gained weight, but that's just what he feels. And he can't pinpoint a certain moment when it happened. He then asked me if there was a way we could work this out. And by working it out, he said he'd be discreet and never let anybody know about it. But he asked if he could sleep with other women, if he could promise that he won't get emotionally attached. He said that sites that would match him with a college or grad student operate on a basis of not forming emotional attachments, and that nothing would change in our relationship. That conversation devastated me. I've been looking at current pictures of us in hatred. I've been suffering from hormone problems for the past 4 years, which have caused my hair to become very brittle and increased my hair loss. My husband always liked long hair, and I know he was disappointed when it became too hard to keep it long or thick. I also feel like standing next to my husband. I find my husband handsome, glowing even in confidence perhaps. And I just see ugly me without that glow. What do? I love my husband, and I've spent so much money on creams and makeup. But my husband just doesn't want a relationship with me sexually, and would rather even pay other women in their early to mid 20s for it. I truly think that to anybody else, they'd say that he was adoring and clearly has a good rapport with me. I don't know if I can lose my best friend, and truly I feel every other aspect of my relationship is good.